What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the first installment of the Roadstar Big Wheel Bagger build. That's a mouthful. Now that the daily temperatures are kind of struggling to reach 50 degrees, decided this is as good a time as any to go ahead and start pulling the bike apart to start my build project. Donor bike is a 2006 Roadstar 1700 Midnight. It's got about 30,000 miles on it or something like that. Good donor bike, good bones to start the build on. I'm planning on pulling everything apart in the next couple of days. Here we are, like the 2nd of December. So hopefully by the weekend, I'll have the bike up on the lift and starting to pull parts off of it. Going to go through a complete transformation. Hoping to have everything done, paint, powder coat, all the work that I'm doing to it by spring, so that come March, in the first couple of warm days, I can go ahead and pull her out. Haven't come up with a name for her yet, so just refer to her as her for the time being. Gonna be completely different when I'm all done. Gonna have a 6.5 degree rake on the front because I'm putting a 26-inch front wheel on it. So gonna need that extra clearance in the front, but the rake and trail is still gonna be close to stock, which is pretty cool. Gonna pull off the dual brake setup. There's gonna be a single front brake and rotor and caliper on the left side. Because I'm going to a single brake setup, there's gonna be a 13-inch rotor in the front. Got an HHI 6-piston caliper to provide my stopping power for me. Going to put a 7-inch down, 14 back set of bags on there. The bags have 8-inch speakers and 2-inch tweeters in them, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do as far as stereo yet. Main reason being, not sure what I'm going to do with the fairing in the front. Not sure if I'm going to keep a fairing, go without a fairing, and put crash bars with speaker pods on them. Just not quite sure yet what I'm going to do. I'll be changing the pipes because I got the bags coming or going on. Going to have a side dump or side exit system set up so that the pipes can come out the side. No cuts in the bags in the back, so no exhaust coming out of the back. Going to go with flush mount gas cap. Seats are going to change, obviously. Probably going to put a cut razor tour pack on there. If it's a razor, it's going to be narrow, so I may keep using it for storage when on the road, along with the limited storage that's going to be in the bags, or I might put a subwoofer in it. Again, not quite sure what I'm going to do with the stereo yet. I'm going to be building my own front and rear air ride for it, so I'll be using air cylinder and lowering links in the back for now. I may change later on and build an airbag system using a Honda Goldwing rear shock to actually keep it from bottoming out, and then build an airbag setup. That requires a lot more fabrication and welding of brackets and backing plates and such. So I'm going to start off with an air cylinder and see how it works for me, like it did with my V-Star. Going to do air ride in the front as well. Shout out to Jason Woody, Smoke Screens from the Roadstar Clinic forum, for putting together the pistons that I need for the air ride in the front. Also, shout out to Jason for the spacers that I need in order to put the Harley style front wheel on a metric bike. So I'll put his information and a link or something on the video, so anybody who's interested in getting that, you can get those parts from him. Gonna go completely different handlebars, taking the controls, everything off the handlebars. They're gonna be completely clean. The throttle is gonna be completely internal, so cables will be inside the bars and nothing on the outside. For the clutch, gonna do the same, gonna go completely internal. So instead of having a clutch lever on the outside, it's actually gonna be a twist clutch. All switches are gonna be hidden. So no turn signals, starter, horn, high beam, low beam, anything like that exposed on the handlebars. All that's going to be hidden. Going to be a lot of small little custom bits that if somebody's looking at the bike, I'm going to have to point out. Still debating whether I'm going to try to do a lay frame, meaning that when the bike is lowered all the way down, it's actually sitting flat on the ground on the frame, or if I'm going to do the electric center stand, which will keep it maybe 2 or 3 inches off the ground. The determining factor for that is really going to be how low the bags actually are once I put them on. Because if the bags are sitting low enough that I can't lay the frame, then obviously it'll be sitting on the kickstand. It's going to be a fun project, changing the lights, changing everything on there. I'm looking forward to it. My V-Star build I did for fun and for experience. I did it pretty inexpensively. This one I'm going to put a little bit more time, a little bit more money, and hopefully a little bit more imagination into. But I will definitely keep posting videos and photos and directions of all the different things I'm doing. That way, if there's anybody who's interested in doing any of the stuff that I'm doing, feel free to ask or just pop on the video, and hopefully there's enough instruction for you to follow. Looking forward to it. As I come up with different ideas during my conceptualization process, I'll probably throw an installment up showing or talking about what those things are. Until then, woo-hoo! Let's get building. Alrighty, well, here's where kind of the fun's gonna start. Starting in a couple of days, once I pull the bike apart, everything on that table, all those boxes, all those parts, front wheel, obviously, it's gonna leave the table. It's gonna start heading over to the bike. This is gonna be a fantastic build experience for me. Got a lot of parts that I didn't have in my last build. A lot of things I'm gonna do on this build that I didn't do on the last one. This donor bike is a little bit more complicated and a little bit more technical, which I think is gonna add to the fun of the build. Really excited about getting started. I got about 85% of the parts, I think, maybe 75% of the parts that I'm going to use for the build. So hopefully, once I get this bike off the lift, I can go ahead and get the Roadstar onto the lift and get the build started. Hopefully in a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days, get started on the weekend. Today's Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'll keep posting videos and stills and instructions of different things I'm doing. If there's any question about what I'm working on, or if you need a close-up of a space or something like that as I'm going through, if there's something that you're interested in doing yourself, just, whatever forum this video is being posted on, feel free to just hit me up, and I'm happy to show you what it is that I'm working on. Who knows, if it's something that you're interested in, by all means, let me know. If it's something that you're not at all interested in, yeah, keep that to yourself. No, kidding. Anything I do on these bikes, I'm more than happy to share. Nothing's a secret. I'm getting my information from a lot of other sources, and I may be putting my own particular spin on something, or I might be doing something exactly like somebody else did. And maybe I have access, or maybe I already know where the information is, and it just keeps you from having to look it up. But feel free to comment, ask, give me information. If I'm doing something stupid and there's a better way to do it, please by all means let me know. And looking forward to the build. Holla.